Hey everyone, my name is Mike Larson. I live down the road in Plain City, and if anyone's been there, I think you'll agree it is the most honestly named town in Ohio. But I like it. I raised my, Tina and I raised our 13-year-old daughter there, and we have a dog and some backyard chickens, and we're loving life in Plain City. I'm running for Congress because 2 years ago, I worked on Janet Garrett's campaign when Janet ran against Jim Jordan. In fact, I was at, I think, was probably your first candidates night was last year with Tiffany, and it was really great. And I loved working for Janet, but as I traveled around this district, I kept running into Democratic candidates who seemed to think that the way to win in Ohio was to pretend to be half a Republican. They didn't stand up for democratic values. They didn't stand up for funding Planned Parenthood and unions and fighting climate change and marriage equality and the things that are hardwired in Democrats and in progressives. I've worked in the Democratic Party really my entire life. My parents actually were employed by John F. Kennedy's campaign in 1960 when I was born. The earliest picture I have of myself is with a Kennedy straw hat on. When I was 14 years old, I joined my first union. I got a job as a peanut vendor at a ballpark, and I had to join the Teamsters. And I wasn't happy about being a 14-year-old Teamster. I didn't understand why I had to pay dues. It's not like I was going to retire as a peanut vendor. But then about 3 months into the job, I'm walking back one night to turn in my load and my money, and I got jumped. I got 5 kids, and they beat me up, and they took my money. I was like $300, and when I told the boss, he said, "You're responsible for that money. You've got to work till you pay it back." So when I was complaining to another vendor, a guy came over and introduced himself as my shop steward. And he said, "Come see me tomorrow." So the next day I come to work, and there's like 14, 15 men and women in navy blue Teamsters windbreakers. And they said they just come from talking to management, and I didn't have to pay that money. That wasn't a worker loss, that was a company loss. And on top of that, they got the company to hire another security guard to keep vendors from getting jumped. And let me tell you, I've been a union person ever since. I've been in 4 unions in my life. We were able to move to Ohio because of my union. I spent 25 years in the Writers Guild of America. I worked as a television writer. But because my union was so strong, I could take my pension at 52. So I took it and we moved out here. And it's the best decision I ever made. I'm a city kid. And for me, having a riding lawnmower is just the greatest thing on earth. My neighbors kind of question my sanity because I am so damn happy when I mow the lawn. But I love it. Best decision I ever made. So I got into this race because I thought it was very important to have a candidate who ran on real democratic values, on the things that I've had in my heart my entire life. I haven't conducted a poll. I'll never conduct a poll because there's nothing a poll can tell me to make me change my mind on the things I believe in. I'm running as my authentic self, and I'm proud of that, and I think it resonates with people. I want to leave some time for some questions, but I just wanted to kind of make one other point. Leanne mentioned that there's a libertarian in the race. That's not the most important person, though. There is a second Republican in the race in November. There's a very conservative Republican, the former chair of the Shelby County Republican Party, who is running as an independent in November. So there will be 2 Republicans on the ballot in November. Okay? So that's going to split that vote. For the first time ever, our district has a chance of electing a Democrat. We have a chance of stealing a seat the Republicans gerrymandered so that we would never have a chance. We actually can steal the seat. And that's so important to remember. But we're not going to do it by running someone who's going to run as a Democrat light or as half a Republican. The Republicans have 2 choices in the race, and the Libertarian is just a nuttier version of Republican. But if we nominate a Democrat who is running as a real Democrat, who has a lifetime of service in the Democratic Party, and excites Democrats to come out and vote, we can steal this seat. And that's why I'm running. I would love your support. I would also love if you signed up to maybe help out on the campaign if you're interested, or grab one of our campaign signs on the way out tonight.